Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Trump and the Supreme Court of the United States and the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution and the decision that came down dealing with Colorado and what its impacts are. Okay, so for those who need a little bit of a refresher, because again, there are a lot of legal entanglements involving the former President of the United States. This one deals with states, in this case Colorado, trying to use the 14th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution to prohibit Trump from being on the ballot. Because the 14th Amendment, a section of it, basically says that if you engage in insurrection, you don't get to hold office again. Short version. The Supreme Court said, no, that's not how this works. In a way, not really a surprise. We've talked about this for like a year. This was always viewed as a long shot. Now, interestingly enough, the reason the Supreme Court gave was pretty simple. Because the Constitution makes Congress, rather than the states, responsible for enforcing Section 3 against all federal office holders and candidates, we reverse. Short version, states can't do this. This power belongs to Congress. So Congress could do it, theoretically. So the similar cases in Maine and Illinois, they're gone too. This is the end of this. Now, during the arguments, there were a lot of other questions. And even beyond this answer, there are other questions about whether or not the way they were going about it was constitutional. One thing that the justices definitely seemed concerned about was a back and forth. So Colorado says that Trump engaged in insurrection on the 6th. Well, Texas says that Biden engaged in insurrection because he didn't do what they wanted at the border. Because there's no set way of determining what insurrection is, there's kind of a lack of due process as well. There's a number of issues, and they've been present. So this decision wasn't really a surprise. I know that there were a lot of people hoping that this was going to pan out, but it was never really likely. So, where does it go from here? Nowhere. This is it. As far as the 14th Amendment stuff goes, this is pretty much the end of it. Sure, theoretically, somebody could try something in Congress. It seems unlikely. I think that Americans need to remember that the Constitution is not a magic document. The U.S. has a very long history of things not going well and a lot of bad things happening. It's important to remember that the U.S. Constitution either explicitly authorized those things or was powerless to prevent it. The Constitution only works if people have the best interest of the country at heart. It only works if you have advanced citizenship, people who are interested in informing themselves. People who succumb to a partisan mindset doesn't lend well to that. And when you have people seeking positions of power to feather their own nests, it doesn't really help there either. It's one of those things that it works if people have the best of intentions. If they don't, well, it's just an obstacle for them to get around. It's not a magic document. So, this is putting a lot more pressure on those who are organizing to get out the vote. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.